What's up, everyone? You're listening to High Tea with Mel, Kel, and Kay. If you're down for some unapologetic and unfiltered discussions from melanated perspectives, let's get this chat steeped and brewed in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What up, ladies? Hi.
What it do? Hello,
Good
happy Sunday.
morning. Good morning.
Ooh, you sound so sultry, Keish.
You want me to do some ASMR?
I mean, no. Isn't that when they eat in the mic? Or drink?
No, that's like
No.
mukbang. That's like
okay,
mukbang.
yeah, don't do that. That's so
ASMR.
gross. What's that?
ASMR is just when, it's just
Tic-tacs.
sound.
Oh, no, I was talking about your voice. I don't want to hear other sounds. I wanted to hear your voice. It was glorious. It sounded so soothing and just smooth jazz. It was very nice.
Well, thank you. That's a very nice compliment because I don't feel like I have a soothing voice.
It sounds pretty good today. I'm just saying, putting it out there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Everyone needs a little jazz in their life. Well, I don't know about y'all, but this new year, it don't feel that new. So I'm gonna leave that comment right there. But we out here living and blessed. I want to start off by saying that. Just saying. But this episode, we are going to get into mental health. We need to talk about some things. We need to get some things off our chests. We want to update y'all on what's been going on and all the things high tea outside of the podcast. And of course, this episode, we're going to shake things up and we're going to do our tea chat letters instead of a social media moment. We're going to talk about whatever they got going on. Once again, we have no idea what these letters are.
It's juicy.
Kelly is the only one that's read them. Me and Kishana have zero clue. And then we'll wrap it all up with our weekly recommendations. So, ladies, as I started off before I went on my introductory tangent, I would like to start off before we get into mental health to let the people know we are grateful for our lives. All three of us have had opportunities that most don't get, and in no way, shape, or form are we people who don't appreciate what we have. Let's just clarify.
Exactly.
When we're talking about mental health, we're talking about our inner selves and our inner demons that we have to deal with on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. So all that said, in all the first world problem ways, to me, 2021 was a 3 out of 10 for my mental health because your girl needs a reset. I need a reset, a repolish, a whole anew. The fact that all three of us are not in jail or off this earth, or hidden away in a cabin somewhere and off the grid. The fact that we are still here and just pushing is fabulous to me.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just my opinion. How do you ladies feel about, for your mental health, how 2021 was?
It was shitty with a capital S. I absolutely hated it. I didn't see anything really good about it except for you two. I'm glad that I made it out. I'm glad that I made it out breathing. But other than that, it was really demanding on the brain cells of Kelly. You figured out a lot about yourself and who your support system is and who you really are as a person, and looking within yourself to get yourself out of those situations that you really didn't think that you could. And it's really a blessing that all of us, either we went through our own demons behind closed doors, but as we are right now, we are able to talk about it and still know that we have things to work on and that we can get through them. Because last year was just a hot ass mother effing mess.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Pastor Kelly.
Da-da.
Pastor Keller, always from the east side, never from the west. All right. What about you, Keith?
My goodness.
I mean, I guess also for the fact that one of the things that I would definitely say is like a major difference between all of us is the fact that I always make the disclaimer that we deal with things very differently. Mm-hmm. And even though I can like empathize with everyone's stress, I don't feel the stress. I don't feel stressed the same way, and I think it's because I'm a person who doesn't really like try to take on stressful situations. And I also think too what it is also the fact that our day-to-day lives are a lot more different from each other. Like we all work
Yeah.
different jobs even though they're people centered. We all work different jobs. Like it's easier for me to disconnect from my job, especially my job. It's easy for me to disconnect from my job, my people, my surroundings, and just like go into my own bubble. And I think that's the way I like deal with it a little bit more better, a little bit more better on my end, if that
That's
makes
so
sense.
true.
And I always remind myself that, whatever I may be going through may be tough right now, but it could be worse. So that's something that always like gets me through those peaks and those hills and those roller coaster moments where you feel like you're just gonna plummet.
Hmm.
That's true.
So I really think that's just my more focus on it. But don't get it twisted. I do believe that everyone should take care of their mental health. Like there's so much resources out there. Like some resources are very more accessible to others, but at the same time, like they're available for everyone. Whether it's just going outside, taking a walk, disconnecting from anything, those are free. Putting your phone down is free. Not taking on other people's problems are free.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah,
Put it on a
no, and I think
shirt.
that's a big part of it. Oh yeah, no, I think that's like a huge part of mental health as well. Like, cause people. This may sound very controversial.
Say it.
Bring it.
Say
Let me take
it.
a sip of my coffee before I say
Sip
this.
it.
Oh, she need that caffeine.
Get it, girl.
Caffeine courage.
Let it out.
I feel like there is a line between being empathetic and being empathic.
Yep.
There's a huge line.
Yes.
And I think people need to understand the difference of how big that line is sometimes, because just because you may feel like you are an empath doesn't mean that you need to be an empath to your own demise. And honestly, like I'm so tired of this generation just calling themselves empaths,
Hmm.
because half the time you people call yourself, say that I'm an empath, I connect with people emotionally so much, I feel everything everyone is going through.
But they're also emotional
And you don't.
manipulators and terrorists.
Not only that, but you're not, because you just say it because the marketing sounds nice.
That's what I mean. They're saying
Yeah,
it to
it's
say it,
trendy.
but they're actually not great people.
Right. And then it's just like, but you're an empath, but you're selfish. I don't think people understand that empaths will drop their own shit to take care of
Mhm.
other people's shit, but that does not happen. People just call themselves an empath because the marketing behind it is nice. It sounds
Yeah.
cute. And that's why I don't call myself an empath. I can say that I am sympathetic towards
Right.
people and I'm empathetic towards certain people.
Yup.
But I literally think that border needs to be drawn and understood and recognized.
Completely agree with that.
You can't help people with their shit if you're struggling with your own shit.
Also, some people don't want your help,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and that's just the reality.
Right. And recognize when people don't want your help.
Like, and don't be offended by it.
Right.
So, I would love for us to get into a little bit, or whatever we feel comfortable with. Obviously, it's our podcast. As far as what we were doing for the break, because as we said, the last couple of recordings, that break was strictly mental health and time and energy needed.
Mm-hmm.
We love this podcast. We love doing it. It's very needed for our lives, but nah, son. Like that shit was
Nah, son.
too
What the
much
heck?
for me.
You went straight 90s.
Like,
Nah,
nah,
son.
son. I was also
Straight
listening to a
90s.
lot of 90s East Coast hip hop during this time, so yeah.
Makes sense.
You gotta
Nah,
go.
son.
You gotta leave work like a gangster. You cannot ride out of there like a bitch. Okay. No.
Oh my god.
Sorry. Whew. So who wants to go first? I can go if y'all
Yeah, you can
go ahead.
go.
Okay. Well,
Get it off your chest.
I tried to condense this down as much as possible.
It's okay. Just go. You got
Sound
this.
like a mama.
It's all right, baby. It's gonna be okay. Just do what you gotta do.
Say it with your chest.
Always, I got a lot of it. Okay. Um. So we took our break. It was like mid-September, and we did not start recording again until our girls' trip, which was mid-November. That's a whole 2 last months. Like, and it went by so quickly, but also so slowly. It was terrifying.
Yes.
I don't know how we jumped to the holidays, but grateful for it. But anyway, so during my time, as y'all know, I do events and I plan a number of different things. So I like numbers because that's the proof in the pudding. So during those 2 months, I had 9 golf tournaments that were from 150 people to 300 people. I had 9 weddings that range from 45 people to 200. Um, and 3 large social events. That's a lot of fucking shit in 2 months for one
Mm.
person and no help. And when I say no help, I mean no help with my job. To get the efforts done, I had help. So let's just clarify for anyone who actually listens for my job. Just to put it out there. But dealing with that on top of adult issues like fucking cars and bullshit. And then I get in trouble at work because I don't follow rules to the exact T. I'm not perfect. I do things the best I can, as much as I can, because I'm goddamn human.
Mm-hmm.
That is also something that helps keep you centered. You're human, and you can only do but so much
Yeah.
in a fucking day. Cool. But yeah, getting in trouble at work while also not having help, which is a very annoying balance. Because I'm just like, how do we expect to get to point B? But I digress. Um, But on top of that, having to manage yourself in your personal life, having to manage my relationship, my family, the balance of life, mental health, physical health, all that shit. So you bundle that up and you just get this ball of anxiety and stress weight loss. Breakouts and all these horrible things that happen to my body when I get super stressed. It just keeps going and evolving and elevating. And here we are in 2022, surviving.
Mm-hmm.
You did that though. That's for
Yes, you
sure. Because
did.
that's no joke. I remember those days.
With only one casualty, I might want to also add. So I'm fine with this.
What was the one casualty?
What the heck?
I'll have to tell y'all off air because
Oh, okay.
Oh, jeez.
No problem.
out of all of my
We
events, I
got
only
you.
had one casualty. That's what I will
Got
say.
it.
And it was not my fault, so I take it actually as 0 casualties. But
Okay.
that's just me.
Oh, good. You still made it out though.
You did. You sure did.
I mean, we all got, I feel like all 3 of us, no matter where we've been mentally, even if it gets hard, there's so much more that needs to get done. At least that's how sometimes when I have to think of it, because as you go through life and you have these huge, like, overwhelming moments, whether it be imposter syndrome or parent guilt or whatever it is, you have to recognize things you still have to do, or then if not, what's the point?
Yeah.
What about you, ladies?
Ishani, you can go.
It's always a mixture of what I said before and now. It's like Mel said, it's just like recognizing those stressors and like if you can take a step back from them, like you have to. And I mean, like I always say before, other people's problems are not my problems because I got my own shit to deal with. But I can help you where I can. And I'm a strong believer in that. Like, um, this year I had to do a lot of like reassessing, especially with my friendships, and just like, take a step back from certain people and say like, okay, all right. And Mel knows a lot about this part, especially where it's just like, because I'm a person who goes hard for the people in my life,
Mhm.
and I had to start realizing that I don't need to go hard for everyone, and I don't have to feel bad about stepping back from people if I feel like that's what I need to do for my own personal growth.
Also, if those people aren't going to go hard for you, then what's the point?
Right, right. Like, and it's just the fact that, and there's always like things that shows you those characteristics in people where it's just like, all right, yeah, this is not gonna fly for the rest of my life. No, like, I know we always glorify having like forever friendships with people and stuff like that, but I don't feel like you need to do that, because if people are gonna stay in your life, they're gonna stay in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like, and at this point, I'm cool with the friends that I have in my life, or the people who are like family members who are currently in my life and stuff like that. Like, we're cool. Like, I like it like this. The smaller the bubble, the lesser the problems, honestly. And so I think that's one thing that I reassessed a lot this year, and also like my own personal stuff. Like, even though I may not speak a lot about it to you guys, whatever the case is, because you guys already know that I deal with my shit on my own type of person. And I think a lot of this year has been me trying to like also figure out what I want to do in the years coming for myself, like trying to figure out how to like put those pieces together and take a step moving forward. And I think I've done pretty all right for myself so far, because like I said in the last episode, like I did, you know, jump the gun and continued with school and stuff like that, and I've been feeling really good with that, and I feel like that's a great starting point for me. I don't like to like talk about it too much, because I feel like I'm gonna hype myself up and then like
Yep.
fall off the fucking chair, and then I'm gonna be like, oh damn it. So yeah, it's, I mean, for me personally, I think 2021 was a good year for me, despite all the outside shit happening.
Mm-hmm.
But for
Yeah.
myself personally, like I feel like it was a pretty good year.
Well, good.
Yeah.
It
That's
doesn't
what I
always
have.
have to be negative, despite how I make
Yeah, it
things
doesn't. It
seem.
Yeah.
doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah. And I would like to think of myself as a glass half full type of person.
You
Like,
definitely are.
don't get it twisted. Like, I also am a very realistic person at the same time, but I don't dwell well on negativity, so I have to keep myself in a positive space, because I am an overthinker. So if I keep myself in a negative mindset, then that will be like hell for myself and people around me. So I have to lean more as a glass half full type of person. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, don't take anything specifically me, because I know I'm a negative Nancy. I'm perfectly fine with this, but just knowing this, like the people that I let see this side of me don't see the other side of me. So don't think that I'm just out here just doom and gloom, grumpy stillskins on a regular basis. Like, this is me letting all my grievances out in my safe space of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't think you are a negative Nancy. Like, I've never.
No, I'm just
I
saying,
mean,
like,
I feel like you just.
I've had
You
just similar to you, like you were talking about friendships that you've had to end. The friendships that have ended in my adulthood were people who thought that I was just only a negative Nancy person because I let them into my safe space of letting them hear my thoughts.
Right.
Really?
Yes.
But the sad part about that is the
Wow.
fact that they hear the state of the negative complaint, but they don't hear the optimism behind it after. So it's just
Mm.
like, I'm just like, so what do you want? Like, that's what some people are more comfortable doing. Like, Melissa's a sharer when she has a personal people next to her. She's a sharer.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's just like, just let her share. She just wants to share
Vent.
because it makes her feel better at the end of it. And then she's gonna be like, well, I'd fuck that shit. I'm keep on going. Like,
Yep. We got
as
shit
long
to
as
do.
I hear the fuck that shit, I got shit to do, I got things to do tomorrow, I got plans to make the other day, fine. Say it. But if you're over here like, yeah, no, this is it, like, like if I hear the spiral, then that's a whole different story. But Melissa doesn't spiral, so it's just,
Mm-hmm.
just let her share.
But that's why I had to say that, because I've literally had people end friendships with me because they think I'm just a negative person. I'm like, no, I just trust you to hear what I'm thinking and how I'm feeling.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because anyone who doesn't know me personally thinks I'm this very nice, cheery person, and I'm like, nah, I'm a raging bitch inside. I just don't care for you to know it.
All right.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Don't get it twisted. I've always been a believer of like you don't have to fully let people all the way in, but
hell no.
if you're just gonna put up a front on your life, like you're like this happy-go-lucky, like I shit rainbows and butterflies, like there's glitter in my coffee every morning, like if you're gonna be that person to everyone all the time, like no one's ever gonna expect anything negative in your life whatsoever. And the minute that there is, that shit is gonna take people by like a shit storm.
Yeah.
Like people are just gonna be like,
Mm-hmm.
I would never think that, blah 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 blah.
That's why people get to
Yeah.
hear me curse someone out every once in a while, so they know what it really is. Like I'm with the
Right.
shits.
Right.
But anyways,
Yeah.
So true.
Miss Kelly.
Oh goodness. So what happened last year is, I'll say first, like Kashana. Obviously, if you listen to our previous episodes in another season, we did our personality test. Me and Kashana are the exact same when it comes to personality, how we go about thinking, how we go about kind of life in general, in a sense. But when it comes to mental health, obviously there is a difference. But I think with 2021, it really brought out like a darker side for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was something that I wasn't expecting, nor was I ready for it. And like you said, typically I just roll very down low. I don't like anybody to be in the know of what I'm doing. I like to act in silence. I like to deal with my own shit by myself, because I don't want to put a burden on anybody else. And I kind of just want to be seen as I got it together. Whether I'm not going through it right behind the scenes, I just want it to be seen as I got it together. Last year was the biggest year ever in my life where I actually included friends into my business.
Mm.
I did not want that to happen. And when I say friends, I mean like literally 3 people, because I keep my friend circle very small. And it's literally you two and then a family friend. And I could not have gone through last year without anybody. Like I couldn't have hidden that. I'm not going to go into what happened because that's not over with.
Yeah.
I kind of had a spell of what happened at the end, mid-December. And it last year just took a toll on me in a way that it felt like I was gasping for air. And not only was what happened last year part of that problem, but I think a lot of things that I didn't realize were leading up to this issue, it all came out at once. And if I didn't have you two to like literally spill everything to at any given moment, whether I sounded crazy and I knew what the answer was, I just needed to tell it. I could not have done it without these 2 ladies that are on this show right now. And as much as I probably don't even say it, but they know how thankful I am for them, because it was very vulnerable for me to even do that. And just thank you for not judging me or looking at me a certain way or saying you're stupid or you're dumb or you shouldn't have done that or I told you so, even if you had thought it behind the scenes and you didn't tell me at first. Just thank you for being a listening ear, because mental health, when it comes to that, for anything, for anybody, you don't need to speak. The person that you have to talk to, they don't need to speak. They're not looking for answers, but they're just looking for that lending ear. And to have 2 people in particular that were literally a sounding board and could just either give advice or just be there to literally listen to cries on the phone or screaming on the phone, cussing up a storm, or dealing with a rage in a way that you've never seen me before, is probably a lot for 1 or 2 people to deal with. And I completely understand that. But Just thank you for getting me through 2021. So, along with that, also came going to therapy. And I've never been one who didn't want to go to therapy. I've always thought it was a great thing. I've always respected everybody else going to it. But for me to actually go to therapy and sit down with a stranger and kind of tell like what your life is, even though I've been blessed my entire life, I have really nothing to complain about. Like Melissa would say, it's first world problems that we complain about. But it just came to a point where I needed that professional help. And once it got to the point where I knew that I really, really needed help was when I got on medication for depression and social anxiety. And I hate saying social anxiety because it seems like everybody has social anxiety after quarantine 2020. But I
fucking
legit
YouTube has social anxiety and mental health issues.
Also, people are gross and annoying.
They are. And I didn't want to say it, but like I legit have it. And it wasn't even because of quarantine, because I was out and doing stuff for my job and whatever the case is. But I didn't even tell y'all, but when we went on our girls trip, I was really contemplating not even going. Like we had booked the Airbnb, months had gone by, but like leading up to the trip, I was very close to being like, I can't go, like making an excuse. Because I did not want to be faced with reality with even you two. Like to be away from people as long as we have been in general with the world that we're in, and then just not having seen each other in so many years now, it kind of freaked me out, not gonna lie. Like
No,
I was very scared.
No, it's
I
real.
get it. It becomes normal. It starts to feel normal not seeing
Yeah.
people. Like and I completely understand how you feel, because I feel like that as well. Like for me, like it's like a whole adjustment, like seeing people again and then realizing like, oh my god, like how am I supposed to be in front of these people again? Like I forgot what that felt like I'm like, and I get it because I've gotten so used to like my my friendships being via the telephone at this point, or like via a Zoom call or via this podcast at this point, where it's just like it's kind of awkward to see people in person again. Like it
like
really is. It's just like, how do I act in front of you again? Like I haven't seen you in forever. It's just like, how do I carry myself? Like I forgot how to do that.
And it just feels like you're exposed.
Yeah, you feel naked. Like it's odd. Like that, and I can completely understand. Like as excited as I was to see you guys, at the same time, it was just like, how do I act again? Like that's literally the thoughts that came into your head. Like how do I act in front of friends again? Like what do you do again? Like it's odd.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a lot for me.
But
I'm
good.
glad I did. Yeah, I did do good. Even though it was a little weird, I did good.
No, you're amazing.
Yes.
And I'm glad you didn't do that. Because I feel like we didn't really, our girls trip was so chill. Like we didn't really even talk about a lot. Like we just sat and hung out together. Like it wasn't even deep diving into really anything particular. Like we had conversations, but it wasn't like, here's all my shit, let me just lay it all out. No, it was just like talking about random
cry
shit.
It out.
Yeah, just random shit, and let's see where it fucking goes. And it wasn't like it didn't feel like a high pressure situation. Yeah.
It was chill. It was what we needed.
The literal version of chill.
Yeah. So other than that kind of mental health, what I've been doing is, I will say though, I know y'all, you love the break and I love the break in a sense, but that long being away from the podcast, when it comes to being the social media manager and the brand organizer for us, it was way too long. I swear to God. because when we are in season, I have a extremely organized priority task type of list of how we post and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And without a set schedule and set recordings and set posts, to try to stay relevant as a podcast during a break is very difficult. And I'm glad that I was able to, we got some new followers, we got more listens, which is great. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you? But that was so freaking long, man. So I'm glad that we're back
Well, maybe we can
for
like
a
break
quote
up
business
the
sense.
break next time. It wasn't supposed to be that long. Let's just
No.
Oh,
like
no.
our original plan was like maybe a month.
Yeah.
And then jump
Like
back
usual.
into it. But
Mm-hmm.
I
Life happens.
life happened, and as I said on my end, I was slammed. So I was just like, I can't, y'all. Like I can barely like, not to even go into this, but like it was a lot going on, and I'll speak on it after Kelly's done. But sorry, y'all. Sorry, Kelly.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not even mad about that because we all had stuff going on.
Yeah, it
Like
becomes. Oh, sorry.
No. I was just glad that we had the break for personal reasons because we
Yeah.
needed it,
Yeah,
but also in a
professional
quote,
sense.
I'll say job per. Yeah, it was like, oh Lord
Stress.
Jesus,
It was
please
added
help me.
a different added stress.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
No, that makes sense though, because
Mm-hmm.
my part of my job is supposed to do social media, and I did not fucking do that shit during the break. I was like, fuck you. I got too much shit to do. Y'all figure it out. I'm not doing it.
Oh man! And then also for the last 8 to 9 months ish, I've been taking classes, and I actually became a paralegal. So
Yes.
yep. So you're looking at a new paralegal. I can't go into actually what I'm doing because that goes against what
you
my
do.
job says. Yeah, gotta leave that on the down low for real. We don't want any bias coming for me.
Right.
But they already know about the podcast. I exposed that, so there's nothing that's going to get in the way of this, so we can still talk freely.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're cool with it.
Thank
But
God.
yeah, I found out during our girls' trip where I'm gonna be. I start next week, and yeah, so that's something big.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
So that was lengthy, but I'm glad that's over with.
No, but we gotta, not that we have to talk about this, but it's something that should be talked about in some capacity, because
Yeah, and
someone's gonna relate to something that we're saying.
Oh yeah, always.
yeah,
I 100% believe.
makes us more real than we already are.
I hope so, because this is all we got. Just to put that out there.
Literally.
Yes.
Since you can't see us right now, you can hear our
Oh,
realness.
that's for the best.
Right.
I don't look great. Just saying. Yeah, no, I appreciate your transparency. I know it hasn't been a great year for you, and I'm praying, and I know we're not a super religious group here, but I'm praying for better days for you, because you deserve a lot more happiness than you get, and I will fight to keep you happy if I can.
Oh Lord, let's not do that.
As Kishana said, we go hard for our people.
Oh yeah.
I do not fuck around. I was ready to fight some people for you this year. Shit, like
Yep.
motherfuckers were ready.
Yeah,
to get
both
the
of
Ready
hands.
to
y'all
set
were.
shit on fire.
Get the hands.
jeez.
There was okay. Anyways,
Oh, no flashbacks, please.
But I wanted to ask y'all ladies, now that we've kind of talked about things that have been going on and we've kind of touched on these, like, how do y'all deal with your lows?
I think I said this a little bit earlier. Like when I am in that state of feeling down or I feel low, I don't feel my best. Like I just disconnect until I can reconnect again. And and most of the stuff that I deal with more internal and more to myself. But according to my boyfriend, I have to be better about expressing myself and certain things about myself. It's a struggle, and I'm trying. I'm just used to just dealing with things internally, and that's my coping mechanism, to just disconnect and deal by myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm getting better
You
at,
are.
Yeah.
sharing.
I told him that. I was like, she's come a long way. This is
Sharing is not in my
progress.
name. Especially sharing about myself is not in my nature. Like, who does that?
Yeah.
Not me.
Everyone
So
excels.
I still kind of deal with stuff like that, especially if I know it's something that I'm able to work through on my own.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
if I do feel like I need outside help, I will ask for outside help if I need it.
Right.
And so, yeah, that's how I normally deal with my lows. But I haven't had a low in a little bit, so thank I'm very thankful for that part, that I haven't had a low in a little bit. It's been at least like a month or so, over a month or two.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
that's actually a perfect segue,
Yeah,
and me and Kelly will still respond to this. But how does it feel as I don't even know if you're in a high right now, but how does it feel to be like just copacetic? I guess is the word I'm looking for.
feels normal. Just feels good. That's literally how it feels. Yeah, for the most part, it feels like all my wires are straight.
Yes.
Thank goodness.
It don't feel like the whole, jack is crowded. You know how you go behind some people's TVs and there's like a mess back there?
Oh, a
Yes.
fire's about to start.
Oh
Uh huh.
yeah. It's just one out. It's just one extension out from a fire.
It
You
kind of
plug your charger
thinks
and you go blow up that whole house.
it also is like kind of like when you're done, like for us, I know this is something we all three enjoy, like when you're done organizing something how you've always envisioned it, and
Mm-hmm.
you get to look at it and
Yes.
you're like, oh man, this is nice, this is
Mm-hmm.
pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I did that.
I did that too the other day.
Where's my HGTV
Hold
show
up,
though?
let me take some
Mm-hmm.
after photos. Hey cutie.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
No, like seriously, and that's funny because that's actually my daily recommendation. That's funny that you say that, to organize shit.
There
Oh
you
wow.
go. See, look at us being podcasters doing the
No, because
thing.
I seriously did that the other day. And I was on the phone with Melissa while I was doing this too, because she called me the other day in the middle of me organizing some stuff.
Random Melissa calls.
Yes,
Love it.
yes.
Well, Miss Kelly, do you want me to go? You want to go?
Oh, me. Let's see. How do I deal with my lows? Um, I have to cry it out if it gets to that point. Because there's just some things where if I deal with it too much in silence, I'm just going to blow up and it'll come out as anger.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
really try not to let myself get too angry.
Mm.
But you know, when you get to that point of anger where you just cry,
Yup.
There's just something cathartic about a good cry.
Especially
yeah,
an
man.
angry cry.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Especially if
where
you
your
can like
eyes are red.
yell and scream to the top of your lungs. That feels great.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and then you fall asleep
Yup.
afterwards.
Just like a child after getting a B and you're just like, I fucking hate her. And then you take a nice ass
Night night.
nap and you just forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I just need to go through that. Like I need to go through a whole ritual and call it a day. Sometimes I need to talk it out and vent. Um, but yeah, I just need to let the emotions go, not be restrained by them. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, that's how I kind of deal with it.
No, that's all right. That's you pretty much said most of what I do. I call y'all if I feel like I'm getting to that point of blowing up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I cry if it's the point where my emotions are so overwhelmed that I just can't even process anything anymore, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But doing also things like listening to my music, but like loudly singing it or rapping it
Yes.
feels so
Oh
cathartic.
Having a whole
man.
rager on your way home.
Yes, like
Mm-hmm.
motherfucker said shit, just like going off.
Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, as we're talking about, music on the way home, I don't like talking on the phone on my way home from work. That's like my moment to just listen to my
Have a
music.
concert.
Right. And just chill
Mm-hmm.
in my car. and just like zone out while I'm driving. Like that's just who I am. I don't like having conversations while I'm driving. Like I don't like being on the phone while I'm driving. I just like my music on.
Yeah, I don't
If
like
I
being on
have
the
to, I will.
phone.
If I have to, I will. But other than that, that's like my moment for music.
Yeah. If it's during the nighttime, if I'm coming home from work late at night, I'd rather be on the phone because if something happens to me, if I run over something, at least somebody knows. Because to me, driving when the music is blaring loud and I'm by myself, it kind of freaks me out in a way. But if I'm driving in broad daylight and I'm coming home around like 4 in the afternoon, don't call me. I'm not going to answer the phone. I'm not going to pick up. I'm going to be blasting that music.
See, that's me on a Sunday afternoon or like a day off afternoon where I'm just like super tired and just want to be a straight bum. Don't call me. I will not answer the phone. Unless I know it's like a dead ass emergency. No,
Yeah.
I will not answer it. You will not get a response. You will get a text. I don't want to speak to you. I don't.
Yep. It's like, no, just leave me.
Like, how can I help you? This phone is not in act.
Right.
No, don't call it.
Like,
it doesn't work.
Like when my phone starts ringing, I'm just like, oh.
See, that's when I wish you had to pay for minutes on the phone.
Right. Then no one will call you.
Because I was territorial over my minutes. Virgin Mobile was my first phone.
You had to be at that time.
You had to, right.
It was not an option.
Yep.
You were on punishment if you went 1 cent over the budgeted amount for the month.
Get your ass slapped up.
Fuck
yep.
that.
Don't make my sleepover on Friday.
Don't make no phone calls before 9.
Don't make nobody mad.
Slapped up. No, parents love that
you
shit.
Just gave me
because
PTSD.
they're on top of that.
Fucking hell, I got so much trouble.
Oh my god.
Well, we kind of touched on mine, but also reminding yourself that I'm human is the one that got me out of the last 2 months. Because every day I would say that to myself, and especially at the end of the day, like most people who do my job, they leave it like 5, 6 o'clock, and they come in strictly at 9 o'clock, who are in my particular job in my particular market. I don't do that shit. I show up early and I leave late. I'm tired. My man is at home pissed because I'm not at home. So I'm fucking human. I'm out. I gotta go. Hire somebody else if y'all want this shit done exactly how y'all want it done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I think on the topic of mental health, the last item that I want to say, because someone actually mentioned this to me yesterday, and I thought it was beautiful because they were like, I just feel so overwhelmed. I feel like I don't know how I'm going to manage this or deal with this or handle this balance of life, including all of the things. And she was just like, I don't know how to deal with this. Like, I don't, and she was like freaking out. And I was like, girl, that's my life. I don't know either. I don't know how people do it who have their Instagrams and their families and their businesses and their this and their that and all the things, and how the fuck do y'all do this shit and make it look okay?
Because it's a front.
It's something.
Yeah, that's what I just started realizing within the last couple of years, especially watching
bullshit.
more YouTube people, especially watching people on YouTube. It's just like, it's a front.
Like, you a liar. Lying ass bitch. But
He's like, he was a liar.
So if you're feeling overwhelmed, or like I say, it feels like you're drowning. Like you're just drowning in things and tasks and all. Ugh, there's so much. If you feel like that, you're not alone. Yes, at least someone else in your circle is feeling that shit too. And they just don't have anyone to talk to about it.
Yeah.
So if y'all
100%.
hear us, we hear you. I promise.
We feel you.
Feels you. Well, ladies, is there anything else that we want to talk about on this particular topic?
No, that was cathartic though.
I do feel good. I feel better.
I don't feel alone.
You're not alone.
Oh Lord.
Listen, this Celine Dion challenge is getting hilarious out here in these streets.
Oh my god.
They need to stop.
I saw one today that was fucking amazing, and I was like, good job, girl. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and get into our, what is it called again? Chatting.
Chatting. Oh my gosh.
So Miss Kelly has picked some of our letters that we've received, and she's going to read them to us. Me and Kishana, once again, have not heard these, so this will be brand new news to us, and our
this
reactions
is a blind.
will
This
be,
is blind.
Yeah, it will be
It's
raw.
really blind.
It's blind.
Oh man, I'm so excited. Okay, so hello, Brown Queens.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
My fraternal twin and I, both black guys, are in our late 20s. We were always extremely close and shared a bedroom growing up. When we were 12, we gradually started experimenting sexually with each other. After a couple of years, we realized we had fallen in love. Of course, we felt guilty and ashamed, and we didn't dare tell anyone what we were doing. Our dilemma is how to deal with our increasingly nosy family and friends. I feel we should continue being discreet for the rest of our lives and blow off their questions. My brother, though, is exhausted with this charade. Is this one of those times when honesty is not the best policy? Alias is closeted for life or nah.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot.
I was not ready.
I know. Thank you for trusting us.
I was not ready. And yes, thank you for trusting. I don't know how to react to that, actually.
Hold on. I have one thing to say and one thing only.
Okay. Melissa is dying right now.
My mama always told me, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. So I'm going to sit this one out. I'm going to sit this one out because I have siblings. I have a brother, and we came out the same vagina and the same ball sack. So for me, I'm going to just sit this one out. I'm going to let y'all handle this.
Oh my god.
I think I'm going to take my headphones off and let y'all handle it.
She's
not even gonna listen to him.
Nah, I cannot believe what I just heard. Like, y'all want blunt? Y'all want blunt right now? I'm gonna give you some blunt.
Hold up.
I mean, obviously.
Hold up.
Out of all the fishes in the sea, it had to be the one you swam in the same pond with?
In the same sperm, dude.
Not
even in the pond. Y'all the same fish. You're just separated.
Y'all shared a womb. Y'all are womb mates. Not. I shared a room with my brother for half my life.
Jeez, man, my stomach hurts.
Listen, I'm sorry. The judger in my Virgo nature is gonna come out right now. Like, I'm so sorry. Let me just. I'm gonna sit it back. I'm gonna sit it back. I'm gonna run it back.
But don't take your headphones off. Just mute yourself, baby. I don't know.
Nah, y'all just gonna hear me sigh a lot in the background.
It's hot. Oh, wow.
My blood's boiling.
Oh my gosh, I have literal tears. Oh, wow.
Where's my cat? I need to pet my cat.
Oh my god. All right, one of us needs to actually speak.
Mika.
Man.
I gotta take my sweater off.
Pet my cat. I need to pet my cat.
Kelly, do you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Okay, well, yeah, this is difficult. Because when I first got it, I was like, is this a joke? But honestly, it's not, because I actually heard this on Iyanla a couple of years ago. It was a similar situation, and I don't really know what to do, but I wouldn't want to go through life just keeping this a secret. Like, you just need to tell somebody in your family. I don't know if you need to do it all in one swoop when
Oh,
all the family is there at the table, but you need to tell somebody,
oh.
I
like,
disagree.
singularly.
Okay. So I just want to say one more thing,
Huh?
because one thing that I got from it is that it's still
It's
continuing. It's
active.
not like it ever
Right.
stopped.
Yeah, it's
It's still an
active
active
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
And it's just the fact that you're adults at this
Yeah.
point, and
Almost
it's
grown.
like almost grown. It's just like, do you know how much you're taking away from your own personal lives as people, as separate people?
You will never
Like,
be able to genuinely be happy with that person in public and in life because of the secret that
not
you
just
have.
that, it's way bigger than just with that person. It's just in general. Like, even if you decided to squash this at some point in the future, you will never be able to have a normal functioning relationship after this.
As brothers.
As
Right.
people.
No, but
Yeah.
it sounds like they're fraternal. So are they brothers and sisters,
It
or
don't even
are
matter to
They're
there?
me.
both black guys. They say they're both black guys.
Yeah, so now it's just like having a functioning relationship after this, and not only that, it's also trying to understand what your sexuality is going forward after that,
Yeah.
because you may just have an attraction for each other, but it doesn't necessarily mean you may have an attraction for like other men and stuff like that. Do you understand what I'm trying to
Oh,
get at?
yeah.
So it's a lot of factors that are in here that are very confusing. So I do feel like before you say anything to your family, you may have to like dial it back and then like reassess everything with each other and figure out like if you can continue, if like realistically can you continue doing this moving forward. Because me personally, I don't think you can,
No.
because there's gonna come a time where maybe one of you, like, meet somebody and fall in love, and then that what happens to the other twin. Like play the situation out on someone else and not on yourself, and then you'll understand why it's kind of confusing hearing it.
Oh, yeah.
like
I
like take
mean,
yourself out of it and put like a friend in it, like say like this is your friend going through it instead. Like you're kind of gonna see like it's not
So I've
tangible realistically.
I've had a
mhm.
friend be in a not an exact situation, but a relative situation. And while my advice at that time, I was young. My advice in general was cut it out,
Mm-hmm.
because at the end of the day, if this person is in your family, regardless of their actual place in your family, you're gonna have to see them on a regular basis.
Mhm.
And
Mm-hmm.
as Kishana said, eventually one of y'all, regardless of if you keep it going or not, one of y'all are going to get into a relationship, because at the end of the day, societal norms are still societal norms. So your family's still going
Right.
to want you to get
Mhm.
married, regardless of who it is. Your family's still going to want you to get married and have kids. So, and one of you are going to cave, and it sounds like your brother is going to be the one to cave.
Mhm.
So then you're going to have a secret on top of a secret.
Right. And then like how do you explain that to your partner moving forward? Because it's just like
Yeah.
people think they can keep secrets from your partner, but you can't keep secrets from your partner, especially if you know that you want to be with that person for a very long time.
And if you're
Like,
getting married to me, we're going to be together for a long time, at least 15 years. And I will cut you.
I don't know. It's just a lot. I would say like, try to view the situation from an outsider's perspective, not with your own feelings attached to it, because you are in the situation. I would say just literally take a step back, place a friend in the situation, and react to it based off of a friend being in the situation. Because honestly feel like that's the only way you're going to make a decision, or
There's no
your brother's going
healthy
to make a
ending
decision. There
to
No.
it.
isn't. Nothing healthy is going to happen,
Mentally, there's
like
no
come out of this.
healthy
Mm-mm.
ending, because if you keep the charade up, the eventually the guilt will come out, because you're not able to be honest about who you are as a person to anyone you love
But it sounds
outside
like
of
the
that
guilt
one
has already
person.
came out.
Yeah.
The guilt is already out there because you wrote a letter
Mhm.
asking for advice. So you already know that the situation is not the
And
best.
one
It's
of you
not the
already has
greatest.
guilt and has made it very
Mm-hmm.
clear.
Yeah.
So there's no realistic happy fairy tale ending for y'all. And
Yeah,
Mhm.
and,
you know what
and I think it's
societal
just
thoughts
accepting
are
that.
on this. So
Right.
unless you want to be a disingenuine version of yourself for the rest of your life, you're going to have to move on from this and figure out if there's a way to repair your relationship as siblings.
And just have right, because you guys technically didn't even be siblings.
No, y'all went from kids to
y'all were partners.
Hey y'all. Hey.
To like situations. You guys went from like kids to a situationship. Like that doesn't
incestuationship.
That is
that a
clever.
thing?
I don't know if it is, but that was clever
happened.
And we were keeping it.
Right. Okay. So it's just like you have a lot of rebuilding to do between each other and also separately.
But I do not suggest telling the family. That's a horrible idea.
Yeah, no.
This is not coming out as a gay person. This is a different kind of come out.
Since we are in the realm of this episode being about mental health, I feel like you guys should individually see a therapist individually and figure out where the root cause of all of this came from. Because it's one thing to like, what's the word I'm looking for? To like discover yourself at a young age, because I'm sure we all did. But it's just to discover yourself with your womb mate. Like, I feel like that's something that you may have to
talk through.
Figure out why did it get to that point.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. There's really no yes, right, maybe answer.
Either way,
you got to figure it out on your own.
Yeah, because your answer could be completely different from your brother's answer. So it's just like...
But also, they're saying that they have a nosy family and friends. My thing is, I think they already have an idea.
Of what's going on. Because family and friends...
Oh, they do?
Yeah, so... it's not... You can't hide that if it's really like that. And it's been going on for so many years. So, your family and friends already know. They just want, quote, confirmation in a way.
They don't want confirmation. Let's be very honest.
No, they don't. But they already know.
They're probably willing to walk away from it.
Yeah.
And pretend it's not happening. Because that's what they are doing right now.
Yeah. It's like a shield. It's tricky.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's not a reunion I want to go to. I do not suggest telling your family. I do not. I suggest y'all handle that.
Invite us to that cookout.
Yeah, handle that shit between the two of y'all. And then maybe one of y'all might need to move. Clean start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
to another state.
To another, like further enough where it's not a quick drive.
Right, like 5 states.
At least one large one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm a sucker for a clean move. Just whoop, time to go. And it sounds like y'all need one. Because best of luck with that.
Yeah, no.
I'm sad you have to go through that, but good luck. Let us know how it ends or goes or what the resolution is.
Yes, please. Even if it's a year later and a resolution finally comes,
we would love to know. We wish you the best mental health.
Yes, we wish you the best in this whole situation and just to like, figure it out respectfully and privately.
Yep. So are you ready for the second one?
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to be shocking, especially for Melissa and I, but definitely Kashana also, because it's a long one. So, hey MKK. Hello.
Hey.
I know particularly Melissa and Kelly are in the field of all things weddings.
Hey.
But I hope all 3 of you girls can give me some insight. It's a long one, so forgive me. So I've been asked to be a bridesmaid by a long time, over 15 years, friend. This woman is the sister I never had, and we're closer to each other than we are to many of our own family members. I happily said yes without realizing that her taste and budget far, far exceeded mine. She is marrying into a great deal of money, and she's having a huge expensive wedding. That's fine. The problem is that the dresses she selected for her bridesmaids start at $7,000. That's right. $7,000 is the price of the cheapest of her choices, and that does not include alterations, shoes, jewelry, hair, makeup, etc. The dress that she favors comes in a comes in at $15,000 before alterations. She did not give us any kind of warning that the dresses she is considering are expensive. I'm working, but spending $7,000 plus on a wedding dress that I will wear for less than one day, not even, and then never wear it again. It's beautiful, but it's very bridal, is an expense I just can't justify. And if she opts for her favorite at $15,000 before alterations, I'm shit out of luck.
Whoa.
I know.
So it sounds like she's shit out of
I
luck. Continue. Sorry.
I I know that being a member of the wedding party is expensive. When she announced her engagement and when she asked me to be a bridesmaid, I immediately started trying to save, but I didn't think that being a part of her wedding would be this expensive. I'm also hurt that she didn't give me a heads up, but waited until we were at the salon looking at her choices. I pulled up I pulled her aside and told her that I would have to back out of being a bridesmaid. And I told her why, that I can't afford the dress she chose, nor the shoes, the accessories, alterations, and everything else. I told her that I would be happy to participate in another way, perhaps do a reading or a toast. And if that wasn't possible, then I would be content to be a guest. She was very, very, very upset with me that and told me that I couldn't back out. The wedding is still a year from now, so I would think there is time for her to ask someone else to be a bridesmaid. Since then, I've called her and emailed her, and she hasn't responded. I finally wrote her a long letter explaining that I valued her as a person and our friendship, and that I very much wanted to be a part of her wedding, but that unfortunately, a $15,000 dress and even a $7,000 dress is completely out of my budget. I have a job, but after rent, insurance, loans, and other expenses, as you know, I sometimes have to skip meals in order to save even a little for emergencies. The thing is, she grew up like me, working class poor and didn't have much. Her fiance is a great guy and I'm truly happy for her, but I'm hurt that she did not ask me what I could afford to spend on a bridesmaid's dress, shoes, and accessories. I have enough debt as it is, and I can't and won't spend $20,000 just on a bridesmaid's accoutrements. I'd have to borrow to do it. But now she's mad at me and sent me a letter in return telling me how hurt she was that I backed out. That obviously I don't value her as our long friendship because if I did, I would be there for her wedding. She said that none of the other bridesmaids nor the maid of honor backed out. The maid of honor is her sister, and the other bridesmaids are her fiance's sisters, and her fiance's family is paying for their dresses. So that tells me that I don't care about her. She said that I don't deserve her, and she is never talking to me again. Have you ever heard of anything like this? Are brides now so unreasonable that they don't take their bridesmaids' budgets into account when selecting dresses? Should I have told her my limits, the cost of the dress? She also told me that I was not welcome at her wedding. I'm mourning the end of a 15 plus year relationship and friendship, and I'm hurt and just in shock. Signed, unhappy ex bridemaid and blacklisted ex BFF.
This makes me so sad.
Ooh, it does make
I
me
know,
very
right?
sad.
That's really sad.
It makes me sad and upset at the same time
I
I'm
know.
furious for her
Mm-hmm.
or whoever it
because
is.
I've been a bridesmaid at two weddings in my adult life so far. And that's the first thing that both brides said. It's just like, what is everyone's overall budget for a dress?
Mm-hmm.
Because then on top of that, I would think that, the bride also coming from a, middle class family upbringing and middle of, just the average American yearly income,
Mm-hmm.
you
Living
would
paycheck
have
to
more
paycheck.
empathy. Right, living paycheck to paycheck, barely having anything to save, scraping nickels and dimes out the couch. Like, I would think
Yep.
that you would have a little bit more understanding for somebody's situation. Just because you married and you're marrying into money
Yeah.
doesn't mean that everyone else has money to back that up. And on top of that, you respectfully reached out and let her know that you won't be able to afford what she wants. So you don't think it's in your best interest to be a part of her wedding, but you'll come as a guest. Like, that I would have completely understood that if I was the bride in the situation. Where it's just like, yeah, I get it. Just come as a guest. At least you'll be here.
Yep.
So no, I don't think
You
you're
did nothing
unreasonable. I
wrong.
think you did the right
You
thing. You
handled it
know
like an
that you're
adult.
not. Yeah, like why are
Yeah,
you
for
gonna
real.
live out of your means for her?
When you don't even live out your
For
means
one
for you.
day.
Right.
Hmm.
So no, I agree. You're good. You didn't do anything wrong. You were the adult in the situation. And this is what I say. If people cannot empathize back with you and you lose a friend, they weren't meant to be your friend in the first place.
And
Hmm.
she's going to deeply regret how she's behaved
So
eventually.
yeah.
Right. And she literally said the key word his family is paying for his sisters and her
Hmm.
sisters'
If that's the case, then
dresses
they should be
and
paying
the
for
whole
all of
wedding.
the wedding party's clothing.
Right.
Right.
If
Like,
that's
why
the
single
style
out
and
like
the
that?
aesthetic that you want, that's fine.
Because like she said, the other bridesmaids and the maid of honor is her sister and his sisters.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So yeah, you're married into money. If you're gonna pay for the whole wedding, in-laws pay for everything.
Right. That's so shady.
What's
I
another seven?
swear.
What's another 7 to 15,000 gonna kill you? You're already
Hmm.
paying for the whole wedding.
And as someone who sees these kinds of shenanigans play out, um, I've had a groomsman back out 3 weeks before the wedding because he didn't want to wear a tux. Perfectly fine. They found someone to replace him very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
People
Mm,
are,
yeah.
especially, no offense to anyone, people who are like very attention starved would love to be in a fucking wedding party in a heartbeat.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sure Kelly could agree, as seeing people with money spend money, um, it
Hmm.
probably would take nothing for her to ask his family to pay for that dress for her. It's
Exactly.
just another line item in the budget. And clearly, if they're spending $7,000 to $15,000 on bridesmaids dresses, this is going to be a fucking money blowout. So
Yep.
Yeah. For real.
y'all can afford to spend the dress money on buying her that dress, or
Yep.
allow her to
Oh,
pick something else.
so I heard
Yeah.
of this. I heard this thing, right, where it says that sometimes the people who spend the most money on weddings, their marriages don't even last after past 5 years. Is that like statistically true?
I'm be honest with you, I don't.
People who blow a whole lot of money on their
I'm a
weddings.
transactional kind of girl.
Oh.
I handle the planning and the day of, and I don't really speak to them much after I make sure the bill's wrapped up.
I don't know. I just heard that one time and I was just like, huh,
I mean, I
okay.
feel like that's people who care so much about the details versus the personal aesthetic of the
Mm-hmm.
details.
Hmm.
I feel like that is true because all you care about is the look and the grandeur of things and not what it means to have this big day. When you take the
Right.
emotional part
Yeah.
out of it, obviously the
And
financials
just
matter.
leave the aesthetic
Yeah,
there.
like where you care more about the look of things versus what it all means to you as a couple and to the people that are surrounding you, then yeah, I can totally see that because you're just going into it selfish and honestly insecure.
You just want to
Yeah.
show out. That's it. Like you just basically bought a Ferrari to show out. That's it.
Yes, correct. And then you
Mm.
trashed it after you got it out the dealership. I can totally see it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. No, no, girl, you did the right thing. You're good. If she don't want you part of her what? If she doesn't even want you there as a guest at this point, even though you offered to still come as a guest, and
Yep.
that's still not enough. Stay
And
your
that's a
ass home.
big
Save
pride.
your money. It's you big pride.
Because if it was
Hmm.
Keishana or Kelly and it was a similar situation, I would not want to be no fucking guest. I'd be like, nah, bitch, you're going to allow me to pick my own goddamn dress and I'll see you at the fucking altar.
Yeah.
I'm not out this
Right.
wedding party,
Yeah.
but I'm out that dress.
Yep.
Hmm.
Like I already said it. I already said it to you guys. If I was to have an actual wedding, I don't want a bridal party. Everyone comes as a
Yeah.
guest. Here's the dress code. Just follow the dress code and let's keep this shit moving. Like that's it.
Hmm.
Like cuz being a person who was a part of a wedding, like being a bridesmaid, it may not seem like it's stressful, but it kind of actually is stressful. Like people really
Yeah.
thought I was going to spend money on hair and makeup. Like absolutely not. I'm going to do my own hair and my own makeup, especially being black and natural. Not everybody can do your hair.
Also, I think it's
No.
tacky to make people pay for hair and makeup, but that's just me.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially when they're spending money to go to your wedding and have the dress that you want and the look that you want and stay in the hotel that you probably want as well. I think that's
Right.
very tacky to make them pay for their own hair and makeup. That's like making them pay for their own fucking
Right.
bouquets. That's tacky as fuck.
Oh Lord.
Yep.
But that's just
Like, girl, remember, like me and Mel attended a wedding together, and I honestly felt like my makeup came out better than what the makeup artist provided.
you look good, girl.
And I
It
did my
always
own
would.
hair and my own makeup.
We were also in a completely different country. Like, it would just be a bad equation for you to get your hair and makeup there. You would have come out looking like one of those fake dolls, like whitened down and just the
Oof.
wrong
I would have
shade
came out
and-
looking like I was trying to appropriate
Yes.
somebody's
Oh,
culture.
Lord.
it would have been bad.
Jeez.
And they would have
Yeah.
blamed
No,
you
right.
and not the makeup artist.
Right. They were like,
Mhm.
why are you so dark
Why did-
then? I don't have makeup for
Or
you.
why are
It's
you
just
so
like, oh.
light? And like, why is this shade so light on you? I don't know why. This is the darkest one I have.
Yeah, no.
Blip, 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 blip.
Yeah, both weddings I've attended in my adult life, I've done my own hair and my own makeup, and I looked amazing in both the wedding videos and the pictures. So I'm good. You can do things on a budget.
Yeah.
And if she's not okay with that, y'all ain't meant to be in each other's lives.
I mean,
Nope.
when you ask someone
Not
to be a
that
part of
serious.
a wedding party, you need to be very transparent of your expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's some people in wedding parties that they have zero duties except for to show up, wear the dress or whatever outfit, and stand there. And there's some people who get actual duties. But you
Yep.
need to set those expectations, set up exactly how much they're expected to spend on the stuff that you want. If you're very particular like that and you have no wiggle room, then you need to make it very clear when you ask them what the expectations are. And if they
Yep.
say no,
Right.
you have to be also okay with them saying respectfully no.
Mm-hmm.
That's selfish if you don't, because clearly
Yep.
you don't love those people to expect them to live outside their means.
Yeah. For one day, man.
One.
One freaking day.
That's the part that always
It's gonna
blows
go
my
quick.
mind.
They don't ever believe you either.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, as long as y'all get to the goddamn altar and say I do, everything else doesn't matter.
Yeah. You can literally go home right after that.
I've had a bride try. She ate dinner, was like, can I go
I
home
believe
now? And
it.
I was like, it's your wedding. I don't care what you do, but I would talk to your mother first before you do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Her mom was the only reason she stayed.
That's why. That's always the reason why they stay. Be dag, man. That mom would kill the daughter.
I mean, to her defense, all the time and energy that it took to plan the goddamn wedding and you just want to leave an hour
Right.
before it ends? Come on, dog.
Mhm.
Money's been spent.
Yeah, this ain't no field trip.
Yeah, like, you better go get, you can't, actually that wedding they didn't even drink, so yeah, you better dance. You better dance your heart away.
Mhm.
Take your shoes off, put some socks on, and put some slippers on and keep
Yep.
pushing.
Yep. I just want to give her a hug, though.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you lost
really
your friend,
sad.
because that would break my fucking heart. I would be inconsolable.
Yeah.
No one would be able to talk to me.
Yeah, but you did the right thing.
Oh, no,
You
she
did the
did.
right thing. If you know that you can't afford it, you're good.
Yeah, I 1,000% approve of her actions and how she
I don't
She
think
handled
you
it.
have
saved herself.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't think you have to break your pockets on someone else's day.
That's not even breaking her pockets. That's literally bringing her bank. Like, she doesn't have it.
Yeah, for
She
real.
doesn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You're only human, boo.
Mm-hmm.
Oy vey. Well, power to you, girl. Update us if anything else happens. If you end up crashing the
Please.
wedding, I want to see video. 'Cause I just want to see what the wedding honestly looks like.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me being nosy when it comes to weddings. I love a good wedding. They're just so pretty when it's not my money.
Right, always.
All right, ladies. Well, is there anything else I want to talk about before we wrap this sucker up?
No.
Sweet. All right, let's get to these. What the fuck was that? Oh, cat. Got it. Hey guys, I got a cat. It's also what I've been doing this last month.
Hi, Salem.
She's so cute. Anyways, we're going to wrap this sucker up with our weekly recommendations. So, for those of you just tuning in, that is anything that we think will help improve your day, whether it be music, movies, recommendations, advice. Who cares? We think it's awesome. So, ladies, what are our weekly recommendations this week?
Ooh, I'll go.
Yes.
The excitement.
Okay, so I'm actually going to give a shout out because these are hardworking people. Their stuff hadn't really been out on the market yet, but they were on Shark Tank. They're native to Philadelphia, and they came out with this product called Fixed, Fixd, all in capital letters. And they were so gracious enough to give us a kind of like a model of it, and it does work. It's great. It's amazing. We've had it for about 3 months already, and it's this car monitoring system that will literally diagnose any of your car problems and actually translate them into a simple, easy to understand message on your phone that you can link to their app. And you just plug it into the bottom port of your car, and it does like diagnostic tests. So if you were on the road and you see that you have a flat tire and you don't exactly know where the low pressure is coming from, or if there's something wrong with your engine, if you go to a car dealership or an auto place and they want to upcharge you because you're a woman in particular, this car diagnostic situation, it will actually tell you what is wrong exactly. And you can use that instead of solely relying on the person at the dealership or the auto place. So you can go based on what you want to, what your pockets are looking like money wise, and go based off of that. But I think it's amazing. I just used it a couple weeks ago because my battery died, what I thought died, but it really just needed an upcharge because it was so cold outside that the battery kind of like just seized a minute. But having that instead of having to pay anything was great. So I just wanted to give them a little shout out. They're trying to get out in the market into a bigger selling situation, but they were just on Shark Tank 2 weeks ago. Their episode aired. And so, yeah, I thought it was very cool.
That sounds awesome.
Nice.
Oh.
Any help to not get us women scammed because we have vaginas.
Yes.
Right? Sexist.
Rude as fuck. Anyways, awesome. Miss Kishana, do you want to go or you want me to go?
Sure. Like I mentioned earlier in the episode, my recommendation for this week is organize your personal space. I mean, I always do this. I always like organize shit around me, and it normally makes me feel better. And I think that's also part of a coping mechanism, I want to say, as well. Like if I know I have shit on my mind or whatever the case is, I like to like rearrange something, and it makes me feel better because your personal space is something you have control over. So I think that's why it probably helps. It's something that I can control. And I just did that recently because I bought a new perfume rack, a new perfume display stand for my perfumes that I have in my room, and it just looks so pretty and so aesthetically pleasing. So organize your personal space, whether it's your snack cabinet in your pantry, whether it's your spices, your refrigerator, anything that may look a little sloppy, your bathroom, something, just organize it. There's many options. You can go into a TJ Maxx, a Home Goods, a Marshalls, wherever they have like all these cute little storage things that are very inexpensive. Even on Amazon, you can find storage things inexpensive, and just organize your space. There's a place for everything.
There's a place for everything.
There's a place for everything.
Yes.
And if there ain't no place, that means that you gotta do some type of clean out.
Purge.
Yes. Purge your drawers. Purge your surroundings. Don't hold on to things that you don't need. Me and Melissa just had this conversation the other day. If I don't need it, I'm gonna let it go.
If you haven't been looking for it for the past 30 days, you obviously don't need it.
Not only that, I'm a believer of holding on to something for like 3 or 4 months, and if you haven't used it in 3 or 4 months, there's a chance you ain't never gonna use it after that. So go through your drawers, find clothes you don't wear, donate them. Don't throw them out. Donate them. Drop them off in donation bin. Drop them off at some shelters. There's services you can Google that will come to your home and pick them up, but organize your space.
Make Goodwill your last option, not your first.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, no.
Please.
Just drop it off at shelters if you can.
Churches.
Drop it directly off to these places. They'll figure it out for you. There's services that will come to you and pick them up. Yeah, but yeah.
Or even sell them if you want a quick buck.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Love selling some clothes. And then
if you have a
donate
car,
what's left over.
and for anybody
Right.
out here who have a car, clean your motherfucking car.
Oh God.
Because I am
Please.
tired of seeing motherfuckers with disorganized, junky cars. They got cups everywhere, bottles everywhere, trash everywhere. Clean your motherfucking cars.
They always say a person's car tells how a person's mindset is.
My
And
car
it's so
is
true.
no, my car is very neat because that's the one thing I'm in majority of, like in and out of every day. So I need my car cleaned. I need my car to smell nice.
Mine's is clean. It smells nice, but it's a little crummy because I have toast in the morning when I drive.
It's okay as long as you clean the toast up. That's all that matters.
I have
as long as you dust the
vacuum
toast up.
for it.
Right, good. There you go.
See, you got a vacuum.
I got a car
Okay.
garbage,
Oh my God, I love my car garbage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a place for everything, and every places you can control, and that is mine.
Nice.
Love it.
Love that. All right. Well, I'll wrap up with mine. Do something for yourself. It's not a crime. You are allowed to treat yourself or just do better for yourself. It's okay. I know it's hard. I know sometimes you feel guilty for parents or people who just come from backgrounds where they never had a lot. It's a hard mindset to change, but if you worked hard for it, you deserve it. If you're not literally bankrupting yourself in order to do this, it's okay. Just if you need to save a couple of dollars in the next month, then save a couple of dollars, but treat yourself every once in a while. Not a whole lot.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't go too crazy, but
I think we did mention this in a couple times last seasons as well. Like, it's nothing wrong with treating yourself.
Well,
and you shouldn't feel guilty for doing it.
The three of us struggle with this.
No, I've actually gotten a lot better, and that's why I started this whole perfume collection. Like, I really want to have at least 5 or 6 nice perfumes in my collection.
There you go.
And I'm getting there.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
What's your favorite one so far?
Oh my God, I can't even tell you because I have all of them are my favorites.
I feel it.
The only thing I want to add is 2 more Chanels to my collection of my perfumes, and I will by the summer because there's 2 of them that I have my eyes on, and I'm just yes.
Yeah, get that perfume.
Yes, I just added a Guerlain to my collection, so.
Ooh.
Mommy wants to spell expensive.
There you go.
Yes.
Wow.
But yeah, treat yourself if you can.
Yes.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. I agree.
And it's okay to celebrate it. Even if it's not a whole lot. Because I know me and Kelly both don't celebrate our wins. And we both need to work on that.
Not publicly. We don't celebrate our wins publicly. We just keep them internal.
And to our select people.
Or to ourselves. And then people are like, oh, what's going on with you? You're like, oh, nothing. Even though you had all this shit happening.
I don't feel I don't feel like you have to share your successes on social media because I do believe in the evil eye.
Not
and
social media.
Believe that.
And the Caribbean in me.
And the Caribbean in me feels like you don't have to know people for them to wish you bad.
Oh, 1,000%.
I think that everybody's gonna wish evil on you and all that shit like that. So that's the Caribbean in me, unfortunately. So
hey, it makes sense.
Also, not everybody needs to know your business, but being proud.
Oh yeah,
even if that's texting your family, be like, look what I did. That's perfectly fine. And if they hated on you, then fuck them motherfuckers.
Yeah, and first of all, I don't get paid to share my life on social media, so there's no reason why you should be doing it. Like I said, if it don't pay you, you should not be doing it.
And if you're a slight narcissist like me, it's okay. Post it on social media if you want to. Get your shit and keep it moving. Keep it moving.
But just know it comes with some consequences. But if you want to,
well, that's just being an adult. There's too many consequences out here in these streets. All right. Well, I think that is it. I think we're good to go, ladies. I And no, we're so sad to go, but we'll see everyone next week. And that is all the time we have for today. You've been listening to High Tea with Mel, Kel, and Kay. Don't forget to leave us a quick 5-star review on iTunes and follow us on Instagram at hight_podcast and on Twitter at hightpod, the number 1. And take a peek in the description box for more links of all things high tea. And we will talk to you the same time, same place next week.
MKK
out.
out.